Tallahassee, 1 month into his campaign for U.S. Senate. Gov. Rick Scott continued his refrain of fixing a broken Washington as he campaigned in Miami on Wednesday, saying he wants to require a supermajority vote in Congress to raise taxes. For far too long, Washington has only worked to help the career politicians. This old way of thinking must stop now, Scott said in a released statement. Requiring a supermajority vote of 2/3 of each House of Congress to approve any tax or fee increase before it can become law is common sense. The proposal is similar to his push to require a 2/3 vote in the legislature for tax or fee hikes, which will go before voters in November as Amendment 5. Scott has derided his opponent, incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson of Orlando, as a career politician, while casting himself as a problem-solving business executive. But the supermajority requirement in Scott's earlier proposal to impose 12-year term limits on members of Congress are unlikely to make it into law. The term limits plan would require a constitutional amendment, which would require a 2/3 vote in Congress, followed by a ratification of 3/4 of the state legislatures. There's also already a 60-vote requirement in the Senate to pass substantive legislation, although President Trump has called on Senate GOP leaders to scrap that requirement. A 2/3 threshold for tax increases would also do little to reduce the deficit, set to increase to $1.5 trillion this year because of the Republican tax cut plan, which did not include offsetting spending cuts. Scott, though, is undeterred by skepticism of his proposal. "I know that many people will say this cannot be done, or that this has been proposed and failed before," Scott said. That way of old thinking by career politicians is what has allowed Washington to become so dysfunctional. Scott will continue to release parts of his program to change Congress, which he calls his Make Washington Work plan, in Riviera Beach on Thursday. Grower at orlandosentinel.com or 850-222-5564. Scott out with second ad in Senate race. Caption: The governor of Puerto Rico is kicking off a civic organization in Orlando on Tuesday, an initiative he hopes will mobilize Puerto Ricans in the region to become politically active. The governor of Puerto Rico is kicking off a civic organization in Orlando on Tuesday, an initiative he hopes will mobilize Puerto Ricans in the region to become politically active. Caption: Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA Hall of Famer and Islesworth resident, endorsed Orlando Police Chief John Mina for sheriff Monday, recording a video on the set of NBA on TNT. Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA Hall of Famer and Islesworth resident, endorsed Orlando Police Chief John Mina for sheriff Monday, recording a video on the set of NBA on TNT.